AITA for soaking my niece with a hose after I was told not to because she was wearing white? 34M and a dad of 4. My babies are 13M, 11F, 11M and 8M. Our youngest has some significant sensory issues and anger management issues, which he is being evaluated for. Important info for context. He's already been diagnosed with ODD, but this goes beyond that. My sister, 34, my twin, has a 12-year-old daughter, Jane, who is a spoiled rotten kid as she is an only child, and my sister puts a whole new meaning to gentle parenting. As in she doesn't parent, because her kid is just expressing herself and she doesn't want to parent out her personality, which sucks. I love my niece to the depth of my being, but I do not like her or my sister. I don't know how else to put it. On Saturday we had a memorial of life service for my uncle who passed away months ago. It was held at my brother's house. There was probably about 12 kids there. We got easily 40 of those 60-pack water balloon things and let the kids go ham. It was a huge ordeal. However, my youngest at some point decided the water was too much for him to handle, said he was done playing and came to sit by me and dry off. He was being great, which I was grateful for because he has a lot of bad days. But my niece kept coming up and throwing more water balloons at him after she was asked to stop. It was causing him to spiral and he starts raging out, basically, and my sister was telling me to calm my kid down and tell him to stop being a baby. She didn't want to get wet, so every single time he went to throw one back, she would start screaming telling him to stop. At that point my sister got involved as well and yelled at my son saying, "Don't you dare," she said, not to get her wet because she's wearing white and it'll be see-through. I told her to tell her daughter to stop throwing water balloons at my son because he had already said to stop, and she said, "He's already fucking wet." So basically my niece was perfectly fine to throw shit at my kid, who had asked her to stop repeatedly, but they weren't letting him defend himself. The last time my niece came up to him, I spoke up and said, "Don't think about it." He said no. She didn't listen and threw it anyways, so I grabbed the hose beside me and drenched her for a solid 30 seconds. She immediately starts crying and covering herself and goes to hang out in my sister's car. My sister starts berating me and stating that I knew it was going to make her see through and decided to be a creep anyways. My mom and father kicked her out for that comment. I'm getting texts from my BIL, however, stating that I'm a pig and what I did was uncalled for and abusive and that I would never be allowed around my niece again because I'm inappropriate. ETA, the dress wasn't even all white. It had a white strip along her stomach. That's the only spot of white that was on her. The rest of the dress was dark.